Starting now.
All right, I guess I'll put my phone away. Quit looking at.
It's like the gun right before the race, right?
That's the sound of a gun?
Whoop, I don't know. You know, I've actually don't know if I've ever heard the sound of a gun aside from TVs and movies. I don't know if I've heard one in person.
You've lived in a very nice neighborhood, I guess.
I guess. Have you heard gunshots?
I've definitely heard gunshots.
I wonder
before.
if I haven't. I just didn't know it.
You were like, oh, I guess a car backfired.
Or firework? I don't know.
Maybe so.
I don't know. Do you guys know? Hi, everybody. Welcome to Double Overtime.
What's up, everybody? This is Monsi.
Oh, that's John.
That is who I am.
And we almost said it at the exact same time.
We did. You know, we like to do things in unison.
Sometimes. But sometimes you annoy me and then I don't want to do things in unison.
Gosh, you know, that's what friendship is for, I guess.
That is what friendship is for. We are so excited to be with you this week because we're going to do a lot of sports talk. Obviously, we're going to talk about the most important events in the week. We're going to see who's right and wrong between us, which is usually me. And we're going to have some fun.
Doesn't seem fair.
It does.
What? How is it fair for you to always win?
Because.
Please
unless you
give
me a real reason, then I think it seems fair.
What?
All right. By the end of this week, John, we might not have any more NBA. We might not have any more Stanley Cup. Mm-hmm. It might all come to the end.
Yeah, well, it might come to an end for the NBA like later on today, to be honest with you.
Which is so crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go into the NBA a little bit.
Okay, let's do it.
Warriors and Raptors.
All right, well, the Raptors are about to close this up unless their white knight of Kevin Durant comes riding into that court and winning the game for the Warriors. But look, they've already announced he's going to be showing up. He's going to be playing.
Yeah.
I mean, was he going to play on 50%? You know, half a leg?
I mean, there's something fishy going on about this whole Kevin Durant injury. Because a couple of days ago, I read something that they were like, oh, he can't even practice. He can't run drills. And now in 3 days he can play?
Well, I mean, again, he was out there in flip-flops, so you're probably not running drills in flip-flops anyway.
But there is something we are not being told.
Well, we weren't told the real extent of this injury because the original injury was only, a couple of weeks that he'd be out, and now he's been gone for nearly a month. So that's not exactly what they were saying initially. Now, it can't be a torn Achilles because then the man wouldn't even be able to walk.
Right.
But maybe it's more than just a calf strain. Maybe there's a partial tear. I mean, something's going on because, again, the guy can't walk 1 week, and now he's going to play.
That's crazy. So, game 5. Mm-hmm. Who will win? Raptors or Warriors?
You know what? I'm going to go with the Warriors because if they're going to put KD out there in any capacity, he should be able to get it done, because he hasn't shown up for weeks.
Yeah.
So... And you got to hope that this is going to be the change that they need because all the adjustments have been made. Each side is adjusted for each side depending on what's going on, who's out there, who's playing. There won't be an immediate adjustment that the Raptors can even make at this point in time. All they're going to do is probably just put Kawhi on KD, and then that leaves everybody else open. So now you got Curry who can possibly hit shots. You got Clay who can possibly do something. We know Draymond Green won't do anything, but he'll at least
he will. He's going to yell at the refs.
Well, I mean,
he's going to do that for sure.
Hopefully
he's
not
yell
too
at the
much
refs.
because I think if he gets like one more tech, he's out a game.
Well, I guess this is going to be our first disagreement because I think the Raptors are going to wrap it up.
Oh.
There is no way that KD can come back after this serious injury. You put one of the best defenders on him and he's going to perform? I do not think so.
But that's not the point.
Sorry.
That's not the point for him to perform. The point is to make the Raptors have to change what they're doing.
And they will.
Yeah, and they're going to put somebody on a crippled man, and that means the other people can actually play.
Let me tell you, if the Clippers can beat the Warriors with a healthy KD, the Raptors can beat the Warriors with a semi-healthy KD.
Wait, the Clippers didn't win any series.
But I don't need you to win a series. We're talking about one game.
One game?
We're talking about one game today.
Well, I mean,
but
this
is
a very important game.
Did I not say game 5?
But this is a very important game.
No, because clearly John's not. Because I'm pretty sure I said game 5.
I know.
One game we're discussing.
But this is a very important game. This is a closeout game. This isn't like a regular season game where like the Warriors don't care if they lose to the Clippers.
Warriors, you're done. Your last game at Oracle Center happened. I'm so sorry to tell you, but you're about to lose in Toronto. But there's good things happening in Toronto. Right? If they score, McDonald's is giving away free stuff.
Well, McDonald's has been giving away a lot of free stuff already. Apparently over $5 million worth of fries. Now, this promotion was made before the trade was done between DeRozan and Kawhi Leonard. Mm-hmm. Now, Kawhi Leonard hits threes. DeRozan does not. So the promotion was if they hit 12 threes in a game, everybody gets medium fries from McDonald's. So initially, it probably wasn't going to be that bad, but now it's gotten well over $5 million in losses. They were assuming that they would give out 700,000 fries, which is probably like $1.5 million, but now it's gone another 4 million. I don't know if McDonald's was planning for that.
That's awesome. That is so awesome.
I'm going to Canada to get some fries.
I know. Let's go to Canada. I mean, why not? Get some free
promotion
fries.
Work everywhere? Or is it just in Canada?
We do have a promotion here. Taco Bell does a promotion. When a team wins away, they give you a free Doritos taco. And I believe it's June 15th that they're giving the taco away between like 2 and 5 or something. So we do that. So not as often as the fries.
Right, yeah.
Because you have to win on the road.
Yeah,
and then they give you some tacos.
And the fries promotion was all season, including the postseason. I mean, they're losing fries left and right.
I love that. Before we get out of the NBA talk, I want to know what you think of the punishment that was done to the investor for the Warriors, Mark Stevens, after he shoved very deliberately Kyle Lowry as he dove to save a ball into the stands, shoved him, no need to touch him, and also exchanged a few words.
It's true. I don't like to talk ill of billionaires because I don't know what my future holds.
So stupid. You're so stupid.
But this man was wrong in every way. Like, first off, if he landed on him, I could maybe understand you
shoving someone off,
somebody off you, and then maybe having some words.
Yeah.
But the man landed a couple of seats away from you. You went out of your way to go and push the man and tell him to go F himself and other things of that nature. So when you're doing that as a minority owner, you have no business being a minority owner because clearly all you're trying to do is show that you have power over these players, which you shouldn't have power over them. They do work for you.
Yeah.
Actually, that man doesn't work for you. He works for another team, So if you went over and pushed KD, I mean, granted, you shouldn't do that, but at least at that point, you are paying the man. But this is a man you don't pay. You're just clearly showing that, you have a privilege to be, I guess, a degenerate right by the court. So, I mean, the man does not deserve to have the team anymore. He doesn't deserve to be going to any NBA functions. Again, if you're sitting courtside, especially for the finals, you should have some decorum.
Yeah, come on, man. Like, I don't know what you were thinking. You and I fully agree on this, especially because I think if roles were reversed and it was a player, or if Kyle Lowry reacted and punched the guy back, shoved the guy back, Kyle Lowry would have been kicked out of the NBA. Who knows?
I don't know about kicked out of the NBA.
But I feel like he would have gotten a worse punishment maybe. So I totally agree with you. Beyonce also caused some drama in that game. Did you hear about that?
No, what did Beyonce do?
Beyonce was sitting courtside with Jay-Z in one of the games over at Oracle. It might have not been the same exact game. It actually might have been. But one of the owners, another owner, it was like a couple.
Pushed Beyonce?
No, but the woman was like trying to talk to Jay-Z. And just like, it seems as though she was just innocently maybe offering a drink. So Beyonce was sitting in between them. And Beyonce's face was not having it. And the Beehive on social media went crazy, threatening this woman. Because she made it seem like the face Beyonce gave made it seem like she was trying to step on her shoes and trying to step on her man and stuff. And it's like the Beehive went crazy. Okay. Y'all needs to chill.
First off, I doubt that woman was trying to steal Jay-Z from
right?
Beyonce.
All right.
This is Queen Bee we talking about right here. Come on now. Look,
I know.
I don't understand fully because I didn't see the situation.
She just had a look.
But Beyonce had a whole album on how she was, wronged. So I can see how she can quickly get to that point, like any woman talking to her man might become a new album. So
Beehive attacked Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Don't attack this woman.
Right, exactly.
Who had nothing to do with it. She was trying to probably offer you a drink.
Right. Now, if she went and grabbed his crotch in front of her,
that did not happen.
I know that did not happen. But then the Beehive should definitely start swarming and stinging everybody. But all she was doing was having a conversation. Like, if I was close to Beyonce, I'm going to talk to Beyonce. Jay-Z might give me a look, but I'm going to say something to Beyonce. So
what would you say to Beyonce, John? Right now, Beyonce's right here. You have 30 seconds. What would you say to her?
Hello, Beyonce. I love your work. I really like the Put a Ring on It music video. Those thighs were beautiful. You was dancing well in those heels. And if anything happens to Jay-Z, I can be your JD.
Woo!
There we go.
That was pretty good. I'm going to give you a high five on that one.
Boom. What's up, boo?
What's up? That was pretty good. There you go.
All right.
Beyonce, you don't need Jay-Z, you got a JD.
You got
That's
JD
pretty
right
dope.
Here.
But enough of Beyonce. How about the Miami Marlins not being in last place?
Well, congrats for them. You
You
know?
guys, good job.
I mean, they've been swimming in the bottom for so long. It's about time for them to get a few victories.
They beat the Brewers 16-0.
Well, I mean, look, once you've been beat by at least 7 runs, you just kind of let it go anyway. Like, you know, like,
But
have
do
you noticed that?
Do you? I know. Oh, you could tell they gave up.
Oh,
but
yeah.
do you do that when it's like the worst team?
But baseball players, I mean, teams do that a lot. Like, if the game gets out of hand, they're just like, whatever. Keep the relief pitcher in there for as long as he needs to. We don't care anymore. I mean, we've seen some games this year where teams are getting beat 20-something to 0. Like, that stuff happens when the team is already like, well, it's over.
Well,
I'm
it's
getting
like
paid
I
either
would
way.
want to stop it before it gets to 16.
They still get a check no matter what. So that's how they do it.
That's how they do it. Now, the Washington Nationals probably don't miss your boy Bryce Harper too much.
Why would they? The man's batting 250, can't steal home. Who told his butt to steal home in the first place? He's running down there. He's out well before he got to home. Oh, pathetic.
Bryce Harper is not that bad, John. Be quiet.
Real? Are you serious? I mean, look, here. Bryce Harper has struck out nearly 100 times already this year. Your boy Manny only 50. That's a completely different subject.
Manny's not my boy. Let's fix that right now. But the Washington Nationals
I'm just
hit
trying to
4
start stuff. You know what? We're just trying to start stuff.
But I brought up the Nationals with reason.
Yeah.
They actually hit 4 consecutive home runs in the 8th inning and becoming the only MLB team in history to do it twice.
Right.
They've actually done it twice.
Yeah. They did it, what, like in 17?
In 2017,
Yeah.
and it's only happened 9 times in the history of baseball.
Well, I mean, come on, 4 straight home runs is that.
That's pretty dope.
I mean, sometimes you get 2.
Right.
If you're lucky, you get 3. 4 is kind of unheard of.
That's
you know?
insane.
'Cause usually there's only like 3 strong batters in your lineup, you
Right.
know, unless you're like the Dodgers, who seem to have like every good hitter right now. But they haven't even done it this year, so
No.
and they've been hitting a lot of home runs. So you know, it's interesting how they still haven't gotten 4 in a row, but they lead the league in home runs. But either way, it's amazing that they accomplished this. Now, can they accomplish winning a World Series? Because that's really what's more important.
Well, you know, you got to celebrate the small victories.
I guess so.
John.
Like when Harper gets out at home. That
There
was
you
a small victory for me. I loved it. I watched it multiple times.
Just on replay.
oh yeah.
Just watched
Just
it
to be
on
like,
replay.
what is he thinking? What is he? What was that boy thinking?
What were the Phillies thinking? We got a lot of What were you thinking in signing that 13-year contract?
They were thinking they needed a star.
They were.
I mean, Philadelphia has that problem because they just signed a boy that has no business getting this extension. The Eagles.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Carson
Well,
Wentz.
I mean, fine. Let's go into that.
I mean,
Let's
it's
do
just-
that.
It's an example of white privilege, if you ask me.
Privilege
It
from
is.
Carson Wentz.
What are you paying this man for? They haven't even paid Dak Prescott yet, and he has actually done something on the field.
So that was my question. What do you think this is going to do for the future of NFL and quarterbacks and contracts? Do you think it's now that's it? Quarterbacks are not going to be paid more than Russell Wilson?
No, they're going to still pay them more. Here's the thing. I think the Eagles did this to try to screw the Cowboys because they're in the same division.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're going to give him this extension, now they have to look at their quarterback, knowing that he's going to need to get paid soon.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have to then give him money, which is going to then weaken other parts of the team because they can't not pay Zeke.
Right.
They can't not pay Dak. They
Right.
can't not keep Cooper. There's a lot of factors to this new Cowboys team. And I think them making that sign is trying to weaken the Cowboys because they're going to have to give Prescott more than they've given Carson Wentz.
That's true.
I mean,
I
$100
agree.
million in guaranteed money.
I know.
The man is constantly hurt.
Yeah, and he hasn't He hasn't been there during the Super Bowl.
He has no postseason victories
Nothing.
except for being on the bench.
Right.
I
I
mean,
know.
I guess you can use that on your resume because you were physically on the roster, but you didn't lead anybody to these victories.
You did not. So we're gonna see what happens. But back to baseball because you're wearing a perfect shirt. You know,
I am.
you're wearing the Houston.
You
and
remember this day?
I do remember that day. The World Series in 2017. John and I were at Game 1 and Game 7.
Yeah. We'll talk more about Game 1.
Yeah,
That's
Game
when I
1 was a
bought this
lot
shirt.
of fun. Game 7 was not. But this is a perfect shirt. Do you think because of this has created some sort of rivalry between the Astros and the Dodgers?
I don't think there's a rivalry yet.
Okay.
You know, if they do meet each other in the World Series again this year, that's definitely going to like heighten the rivalry there because I mean, there's a lot of people who believe the Dodgers shouldn't even have lost the last one.
Right.
I'm a firm believer of that because there was a problem in the decision for your Game 7 pitcher.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about a franchise that had Sandy Koufax come out Game 7 in 1965 on like an hour of rest. It comes out and I know you had more than an hour, but like, the legend is that you
Right.
barely rested, went out there and won that game.
And delivered.
You have Clayton Kershaw, pretty much the new left-handed version of an amazing pitcher, and you didn't use him until after you've lost the game. Like, I don't, it doesn't make sense. The nerds who sit there with the little books and tell them what to do, that was their decision. And now we got to live with that.
I didn't know I was going to open so much by asking about this potential rivalry. What do you guys think? Do you think there's a rivalry between the Dodgers and the Houston Astros based on what happened 2 years ago? Obviously, they're both the favorited teams right now in the MLB, but the biggest rivalry, obviously, for the Dodgers is the Giants. And it's really funny when things happen between the teams.
Right, yeah.
Max Muncy just hit a home run off of Madison Bumgarner.
Yeah.
And he got mad.
Yeah, well, Mad Bummy.
Mad Bummy got so mad. He told him to stop looking at the ball and
Right.
to keep running.
Yeah, he did. He did say that. Now, here's what I don't like. Like, what do you mean? I have to look at the ground and be humble because I just smacked the mess out of your best pitch or whatever. Like, first off, shame on you for throwing me a 92-mile-per-hour fastball and think I'm not going to knock the mess out of that. You're a professional baseball player. You should be pitching in the high 90s if you're going to throw me a fastball. 92, that ain't that big of a deal. And he crushed it, sent it out into the bay.
Yeah.
And I love that. He was like, look down, don't look at the ball. And he was like, well, if you don't want me to look at the ball, go out there and get my ball.
Go get the
get it
ball.
from
That's
the
what
ocean.
he told him.
That
That
was
is
awesome.
so. But it's like, Madison, you look silly. You're the one who looks silly saying this as he's running the bases.
Yeah.
But he also did run the bases super slow.
Well, you can run. Here's the thing. You
Really
can't.
slow.
But what's the right pace? Like, if you walk, they throw the ball at you. If you jog slowly, they throw the ball at you. If you run real fast, they throw the ball at you. They're never happy.
They are
At
never
whatever
happy.
pace you go around those bases, they're like, you went too fast. You went too slow. You moved. Like, they're just mad. And whatever, like, you made a mistake. They hit the ball. Heck, you might not even have made a mistake. The other guy on the other side is also a professional too.
Right.
So he should be able to hit the ball. That's what he's paid to do. And if you make a mistake, it might leave and go way out into the bay. Isn't that like maybe the first home run he's ever had go out into the water?
Yeah, it is the very first
Yeah.
one. So before we move on, what rivalry do you think is the best one in sports?
The best rivalry
Yeah.
in sports?
Or the most
Wow.
exciting or the most...
I mean, the most televised one is easily the Red Sox and Yankees.
Okay.
But I don't even know if it's the best rivalry. It's just the one they talk about the most, If I really don't know. I mean, I guess the best rivalry I would say in sports is probably Lakers Celtics. I mean,
historically?
historically,
Sure.
yeah. So, I mean, I would probably go that route. Now, again, I don't know all of soccer just yet. I'm working on that. But as far as I can tell, from at least the big four sports here, it's going to probably be that.
Okay, I agree with that. I could agree that that's probably the biggest historical rivalry. But rivalries kind of change throughout the years. The Red Sox and the Yankees, that's like a historical one. As a Clippers fan, I feel like we build rivalries throughout the years. Like, we've always hated, the Grizzlies. Like, for some reason, we just
Right.
cannot get out of the Grizzlies in the World Series, in the playoffs, the Clippers.
I mean, that's a weird rival to have.
Right, but well, see, as a Clippers
'Cause they're
fan,
not
we
even
don't really
close.
have a real rival
guess.
because we haven't won.
It's true. It's hard to be viewed as a rival when you've lost most of the games against
Right, you
the
can't
team.
hate on us.
Yeah.
But some rivals develop throughout the years, and that's what I think might be happening with the Dodgers and the Astros. We'll see. We'll see
Okay.
what happens.
Yeah, all right.
We'll see. Anything else about baseball you want to add?
I mean, I've already made my piece about how I don't like Bryce Harper. I think that should be a segment.
That should be its own segment.
Every week we just have a, check in on Bryce Harper and Manny Machado.
and
Let's
see
just-
how they're doing.
just see-
We don't care.
Yeah, well, I mean, I care when he's doing bad.
See, you secretly love him because I don't even
No.
want to know what Manny's doing.
No, I
hope
wanna
he's
see
falling
him-
on his face right now.
Oh, wow.
Wherever you're at. Hope you're tripping on a base.
Wow. Do you have a little voodoo doll of him? that
Yes,
you're
I
like-
should do. This is the one. I should do that right
I don't
here.
know if that's. You might have to
kinda
put
like
a
a
hex
voodoo
on
doll,
it or
no?
something. That's a bobblehead. That's
Hey,
far
well,
from a
listen,
voodoo
I can do
doll.
what I want. I'll do what I want.
I don't know how
Okay?
you're going to get your pins in that. You got to stab it.
I can stab. I can figure it out. Don't take away this idea from me, John.
Okay, I'm just saying we can make a little doll of Manny Machado for you.
Stop talking. Listen. Stop talking. Stanley Cup coming to the end.
Oh, it is. And guess what's back, everybody? For those of you who are listening in, I have brought back my Plastic Blues cup. Now, this cup gave the Blues some luck. When I showed this cup, they started winning. And then I didn't bring the cup last week. Things have fallen apart. So now I've brought the cup back. This is for the Blues, baby. This is for you right here. Hopefully you can win Game 7, which is in Boston.
So you think the Blues are going to win, or you just want that?
Let's just say I want that.
You want that, but you don't think so.
I don't think it's going to be quite an uphill battle for them. I mean, because when they get beat, they get blown away.
They get beat. And it's been a little bit of controversy still with the Stanley Cup and all of these ref calls.
These
yeah,
refs.
man. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, like, if this was like, you know, a Clippers thing and the refs were constantly doing these incorrect calls in a series after series.
You have a heart attack.
Are you kidding me? I'd burn Staples Center down.
Whoa.
Okay, maybe. Well, no, I would do it because the Lakers play there. So kill two birds with one stone.
The Kings play there too. They need to have
they
some
could get
ice.
a new one too. They could get a new place. It's fine. It's fine.
Everybody's moving to the Forum.
Everyone's going. Yeah. It's fine. No. It's fine. I would be so livid. So I'm wondering how like real hockey fans that are Blues fans, that are Bruins fans, like how are you handling this?
I mean, I'm sure the Bruins fans are handling it a lot better now that they went back and won Game 6.
Right.
If they lost Game 6 after what happened in Game 5, all hell would break loose. I mean, like Boston would be having a different kind of parade, I guess, like a parade of fire that much like you.
Yeah.
But now they still have a chance of having a real official parade, another parade, I guess maybe 50 days after their last parade that they have. I mean, they seem to constantly be having parades up there, and they apparently don't like it. At least the city doesn't. But I mean, like,
yeah, hopefully. I've said it from the beginning that I thought Boston was going to win, but now I still think they're going to win. But man, it's not as clear as it was at one point, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
The Blues really have put in sweat, tears, blood, everything into it. It's just that sometimes they look a little unorganized in comparison to the Bruins.
I mean, I don't want to say that they looked scared, because I don't want to say that about a professional athlete.
Right.
Like, this is your job. You should know what you're doing. But they did not look focused
Tight.
and ready to win this last game. And I don't know if it was the pressures of being at home and knowing that, you know, we could do it here at home in front of our fans. But whatever the problem was, I mean, it was a team problem. Like, they could not get it done.
Do you think it was because of the 1-game suspension for Ivan Barbashev?
I don't think that's all of the issue, but again, like, just the team itself didn't look there. Now,
They
maybe
didn't, I agree.
Now it might have been because, you know, they're like, well, we're down a guy, and, you know, we need him to, you know, complete this. But either way, they, from the get-go, it didn't feel like they were going to get it done.
A bit disorganized. I felt like timing was not great with their passes. Just so it just looked a very different team than what we've seen in other games.
Right.
You know, it's like not the same team shows up every time.
That's very true. That's very true for these Blues.
That's what's going on. But I do think that the Bruins will win. But I don't think it's as clear as I thought it was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, we were assuming sweep earlier.
We
but,
did.
you know,
did.
But that's just probably because of the history of the Blues and things like that.
Yeah.
Do you see the same with the Golden State? So
Yeah.
Well,
if they win and Golden State lose, you both pay for it.
we both buy food.
It's going to be, again, McDonald's. No
McDonald's.
No
Something
McDonald's.
better.
All right, it's true, because McDonald's doesn't have a value menu. So we're going to Jack in the Box.
Curly fries.
Yeah, they at least have a value menu that's worth, you know,
I need
going
Jack
to
in the
see.
Box to get like a veggie something. Like a veggie patty. You
They'll
get
probably
Impossible.
work on it. I mean,
I'm
everybody
surprised
else
they
has
have
Beyond Meat.
I know. How do you not have it, Jack in the Box? Goodness.
They're working on it because they want to make sure it's good.
No, Jack in the Box. Remember we went to Jack in the Box years ago? I ordered a chicken sandwich and I was like, can you just put everything in there except the chicken? So just give me the cheese, the lettuce, the tomato, the onion, the bread. And then they put chicken in it and took everything else out.
Right.
What did I just say?
Oh, because I'm sure they've never heard that order before.
Mira, I don't care. Have you heard of the Women's World Cup though?
I have heard of the Women's
Oh,
World Cup. The
good.
ladies for the USA will be playing tomorrow, or actually, when this airs, a few days ago.
Yeah, you're doing great though, John. You're doing real well.
Well, the ladies technically haven't played yet, so we don't know if they're going to win, but they probably will be winning. Now, the home team, France, I mean, they annihilated South Korea. Good grief. It's like they had no business being on the field with them.
You know, watching the few soccer games we've had for the World Cup, really like, why is it that women are so much tougher than men in soccer? Why is that? John, they're your people. I can defend my people. Why are your people so...
All right, hold up. I'm just now getting into soccer, okay? Now I need to understand the tradition of flopping around and crying.
Yeah.
Like, so
why is it that the men roll on the ground for 25 seconds until they get a call, and then the women literally just stand up and keep running?
You know what? I don't want to say it's because of this, but it's probably how they were coached. Let's be... No, but I'm serious. Like, for the ladies, here's what they probably did as they were growing up. They were like, get up, red some dirt out, you're fine.
Oh,
And
you
it's
mean
like-
we're treated more tough
Yes.
than boys are treated?
Right. And so when a guy goes down, they're like, no, milk it, make sure the refs see it. Like, so...
That's embarrassing. This man here, who's just starting to follow soccer, is literally saying this is embarrassing
What?
for men.
What? I'm just saying you're trying to get the call. Because,
You're trying to get the call.
Yeah, you're just trying to get the call.
So you're not playing soccer. You're playing for the call. That is so embarrassing.
What? There's a lot of basketball players playing for the call.
Oh, I totally agree with you.
So-
Yet soccer players are still the worst.
Yeah, I mean, they ride...
They are the worst.
Well, yes, because they writhe around in pain like someone has just shot them
For
in the
30
shin.
seconds. They're like rolling,
Yeah.
holding their knee when they got blown in the ear.
It's about as bad as the time Paul Pierce left the game in a wheelchair and then came running back out. That's like every soccer game. Like, they should get him in the wheelchair, roll him over like they're broken, and then have him run back out there for inspiration.
Did you hear why he supposedly went off in the wheelchair?
I think he had to take a doo-doo or something.
Apparently
like
he
that.
had to use the restroom.
Yeah, he had to take a
No, and then
doo-doo.
somebody says that he went to the restroom.
On himself?
Yes.
In the chair?
Before the chair got there.
Oh.
That's why. That he actually may have
One or
gone to
two?
the two.
Oh. And I think he was wearing white shorts, so you can't cover that.
So somebody
that's why he had to sit in the
that's why
wheelchair.
that's why he had to sit down. That's apparently what happened.
Like, are you saying like a fool, or he just had?
I don't know. I don't know
He had,
how
like-
much he pooped.
I'm just saying, did he have like a fart and it wasn't confident, or what?
I think it was more than a fart,
Oh,
and he needed to sit down.
Mm.
Have you ever pooped your pants, John?
I'm not a full poop.
Not a full poop.
I've had a fart I believed in, and it, you know.
How about you guys? Have you ever had a fart you believed in? Is that what you just said? Is that how you want to quote it?
That's how I want to. Well, because I don't want to say the actual term for it because it might not be appropriate for the radio airwaves.
For sure.
Yeah.
So you a fart you believed in.
Yeah, I believed in it,
And
and
then
my
just-
body failed me. You know, that's what happened.
Okay, got it. All right, cool.
You know,
so
and
maybe
that underwear doesn't exist anymore. So I mean, there you go.
the underwear is gone.
No, it's gone.
Oh, good.
No, yeah, it had to be destroyed.
I wonder what happened to Paul Pierce's underwear and shorts.
They're on eBay.
Oh, that's disgusting. That is so
You know
gross.
somebody would buy them. You know somebody would.
That is so gross.
Don't act like somebody wouldn't buy those though.
Anyways, back to the Women's Cup. If you guys are not watching the Women's Cup, it just got started. There's so much good stuff to watch. In the last episode, we did discuss how the U.S. women's team is kind of trying to sue the Soccer Federation because of the lack of pay and equality between the men and the women. It seems as though, not shocking, U.S. is not the only one that's having an issue with that. There's a player, Ada Hegerberg, the 23-year-old Norwegian striker who is considered the best player in the world, and she is not at the World Cup this year, not playing for not a Norwegian player, because she has been upset at the way that not just necessarily pay, but she has maintained it's not about the money, but more of an issue of respect and opportunity for women at the top levels of the sport. She lauded her club team, which she said treats men and women equally, using the same quality fields, dining together, being respected and held to the same high standards. But some people are criticizing her, saying that she's not being specific enough as to what she wants changed.
I mean, I think she's being specific, but not like, because she's not giving them
Right. Do this and I come back.
right.
She's not doing
She's
that.
not doing that, and I see that as a possible problem, because how do you fix a situation that you haven't been given the guidelines on what to do?
Right.
You know, so she's just saying I'm mad, but then you're supposed to find out why she's mad.
Right. Yeah. I agree to a degree, but also like she doesn't need to be criticized. She's obviously taking a step, and it's not just one thing. And I think that's what she's trying to say.
Right.
The fact that we're playing in separate fields, even though we're both at the top level of our competition. Come on, man.
Here's the thing, though. I just don't feel that her absence is going to be enough to get any kind of word out.
I mean, here we are talking about it.
I know we are.
Oh,
but
people are talking about it, John.
I know, but I just don't think it's going to be strong enough. I feel like if she went out there, started scoring goals after every time she's, balling out there, every interview, she'd be like, yo, women need to be respected. Like, just every time, no matter what they say, just go straight into like equality and blah, blah, blah every time after a game, because they have to interview the best player. So I feel like that would be a better way to get it out there constantly, because, the World Cup is a big thing for women's sports.
Let me tell you how wrong you are. Because then she'd be giving the team that she is literally against all these wins and giving them publicity. Right now, at least it's negative publicity. If she's out there scoring, that's positive publicity. Why would she do that?
Well, because then she can bring light. Well, all right. I mean, I'm just saying that I would feel that would bring more light to the situation, because she's going to disappear the second that Norway is no longer in this tournament.
Right, but if she's playing for Norway and they're doing well, I get what you're saying, that she's going to have a platform to speak. But at the same time, the conversation is going to be what she wants to say and the fact that they're winning. The focus is not going to be on her message.
All right. I mean, to each their own.
Shut up. All right, everybody. Before we wrap up, later this week, we have Father's Day.
We do.
How many
we do.
babies do you have out there that you don't know about, John?
There's only like one possibility, but the kid would be grown now. I mean, his mama was rich, so he'd be fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
He is fine. Oh,
Yeah.
Well, that's good for
No,
you.
he'd be perfectly fine. It'd be better not to meet me.
It'd be better not to. Actually, come meet us. Yeah. So in honor of Father's Day, which we both love our dads so much, Pat, te quiero mucho. Feliz Día de los Padres.
Hello, Dad. I love you.
Perfect. Perfect. We both love our fathers so much. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there who's a father, whether you are a father, a single mom, if you're an older sibling and you're taking care and you're a father. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there. But we have a little fun game before we wrap up where I'm going to test John's knowledge. Here in front of me
I'm
on
hoping
my
I get
iPad.
at least 50%.
I don't want you to fail. I know it normally would be that I want you to fail. I don't want you to fail
I
right
love
now.
your honesty. I normally want you to fail.
I normally want you to fail. Right now,
That should be a soundbite.
I want to get you to figure these out.
Okay, here
So
we go.
I'm going to give him clues, and he is going to try and figure out.
I got my thinking cap. Oh,
Do you have a thinking cap? Oh, lordy lord. Put on. How is that going to go over your headphones? Clearly, you don't have a thinking cap.
Here we
Dios
go.
mío, que
I'm
estaré
ready.
pagando.
I'm ready.
Okay, well, we're going to start off easy. Let's start off really easy,
All right,
okay?
what do you got?
Father, 2 sons.
2 sons. Okay.
They all play basketball.
The Currys.
Correct.
All
See,
right.
that was easy. He got one.
1.
All right. Next one. Father, son.
Father, son. Okay.
Together, they have 17 All-Stars under their belt. They have 1,094 home runs together.
I mean,
I'm going to give you one more clue and you're going to get it.
it could
The
either
San
be,
Francisco Giants.
and that's my final clue.
That's your final. Now you should get it.
Should I? Mm-hmm. I mean, Bobby and Barry Bonds.
Correct.
Okay.
There you go. San Francisco. Good job. Good job.
I mean, that one was touch and go, because I was like,
Wait, to stop,
There's
don't-
a lot of home
I know.
run
Huh?
father and sons.
Okay, but I'm going to. The clue is San
Okay,
Francisco.
I
All
got
right.
you. I got you.
Father, 2 sons. Okay.
Father, 2 sons. Okay.
Father played quarterback at Ole Miss, and one of his sons did the same thing
Okay.
and broke his father's major passing records.
All right. I already know the answer.
Okay.
It will be the Manning family.
Yes, it
All right, there
is.
we
That
go.
is correct. Archie, Eli, and Peyton
You could have just
Manning.
been like, the father wasn't any good and his sons were.
Well, I didn't want to be super obvious. Okay, ready? Okay.
Okay.
Father, son
Okay, father, son.
played the same sport.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Both really, really, really good. This is where I'm going to give it. I'm going to hold
This
on.
is so vague.
No, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give it away with this one.
Okay.
They were the first ever father-son duo to hit back-to-back homers?
Those would be the Griffies.
The Griffies is
Yeah.
right. Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
and
I
Sr.
think that's 4 for 4, baby.
All right. Father
Okay.
and daughter. But-
I'm just going to say Muhammad Ali.
That's it.
Yeah! What? What?
That's the one. Oh, there's another father-daughter here, but that's the one I was going with.
Oh, man, that's great.
I mean, let's
Look at
say how Layla retired with 24 wins and 0 losses.
Oh, yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? You go, girl.
I mean, her daddy was the greatest. She going to be great, too.
Okay, ready?
All right.
Father, 2 sons.
Okay.
All 3 were named All-Stars at least once in their career. Okay. The father was a 7-time Gold Glove Award winner and a World Series champion in 1980, so you get an idea with the Phillies. One son also received 4 Gold Glove Awards and 2 Silver Sluggers. The other son, not as big of accolades, but playing for the Yankees in Game 7 of the 2003 ALCS versus the Red Sox, he did hit a walk-off home run in the 11th inning. And he is now the Yankees manager.
I don't know who his father is.
But you know the manager?
Yeah, I know who the manager is.
Okay, so that's one of the sons.
But who's his father?
Bob, Brett, and Aaron Boone.
Really? I did not know his dad at all. I'm failed.
Okay.
Well, they have different last names. I need to see some DNA.
We got 2 more, and then we wrap up. We got 2 more.
All right.
Okay.
I failed 1. What am I, 1 at 6 for 7 or something like
Sure.
that? All right.
Father, son.
Okay.
Father played football.
Mhm.
Son played basketball. Father was named NFL Offensive Rookie Player of the Year and became the first running back in Cowboys history to rush 1,000 yards.
The first to rush for 1,000 yards in Cowboys history.
The son played basketball at Duke, but won Rookie of the Year as a Piston.
Yeah, I have no idea who this is.
Calvin and Grant Hill.
What?
What?
I had no idea.
Well, now you
Calvin
know.
Hill was the first.
The more you know.
Dang it. You
I
should have
win.
been like the nice. I know, I'm losing here.
I'm losing.
I'm losing this. I got Muhammad Ali without even a guess, and,
Yeah.
and now I'm struggling. Yes, I mean, that's the
Last
best
one.
father-daughter combo, so it made sense.
Last one, we
Okay.
end with the father-daughter.
Oh,
We end with the father-daughter combo.
I won't get this one immediately. Let's see.
I'm gonna. There's one clue that you would get it, but
Okay. All right. What we
they
got?
both played basketball.
Okay.
The father never won a championship, but won 2 league MVPs and had 11 All-Star appearances. Played all but 1 season with the Jazz.
So Karl Malone.
Correct. And his daughter, Cheryl Ford, who won 3 titles with the Detroit Shock
Yeah.
and won Rookie of the Year.
There we go. There we go. So I wasn't terrible.
You weren't terrible.
That was pretty good.
That
Pretty
was
good.
fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
She hit me with some curveballs. there,
I
people.
did. How many of you guys knew any of those that I gave to John? Let us know in the comments. If you knew any of them, all of them. If you knew more than John, probably. Just let us
I
know.
only missed 2 or
He
3.
missed a lot. It's fine.
I wasn't that many.
It is fine. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning into Double Overtime.
Yes.
Please remember to subscribe, like, tweet. You can follow the network at LATV Network on Facebook, on Instagram. But please subscribe to stream and download an unbridged version of this podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever else you get your stuff. And don't forget to follow us and tweet at us on what you'd like to see on the show, what you want us to talk about. You can follow this guy somewhere.
Yes, at John024 Durnell on Instagram and Twitterless John on Twitter. That's twit_Turless John. And you can find Monsi at.
You can find me across social media at Monse Bolanos. Again, thank you so much. We'll see you next time.